This meeting of the trustees of the Lamesa Independent School District is now in order. It is 6:01 p.m. on May 15, 2025. A quorum is present with all board members present. This meeting has been duly called and the notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Mr. Ritchie, would you please lead us in prayer?
If you would please bow your head. Dear Lord, thank you for Lamesa ISD. Thank you for Lamesa, Texas. Just thank you for the people that make up this community. Thank you for the young people in this room and the parents and family members that are here to support them. This is a celebratory time. This is a celebratory month, and I'm glad that we have a lot of kids here tonight that deserve to be celebrated because they have done amazing things, not just for Lamesa ISD, but for Lamesa, Texas. Please watch over all of our juniors and seniors as they go through prom and graduation, and just allow smart decisions to be in their head. Just keep them all safe and let it stay a celebratory time. Thank you for everything you do for us, and in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I guess we have any events?
No, ma'am.
I guess we'll go to speaker.
Okay, we have a lot to recognize tonight, but I meant it. I feel like May, it's the busiest month of the year, but it's all happy. There's banquets, and there's graduations, and there's prom, and then for these seniors, there's about the graduation parties, and the juniors get to realize they're about to be seniors. The 8th graders going to high school. There's just so much awesomeness that happens, and if you remember last year, we honored a lot of people here too, but I'm really excited about tonight because I think there's some really original things that are going to happen. And I'm going to I told them I'm going to link y'all all throughout the night, but I'm going to start. We have state solo and ensemble coming up, and I am excited, not only for Miss Carrie On, but my own son, Hayden, made it, so I don't know if I'm going to get to go, so if I don't, go watch him for me. But I want Miss Carrie On to come up here. Our band's had a fantastic year, and I want her to kind of talk about the kids, and then we've got 2 performances for y'all tonight. One of them, y'all get to sit here and watch. One of them, y'all got to follow me to watch because her instrument would not fit in this room.
Thank you for having us today. We have 23 students that qualified for Texas State Solo and Ensemble this year. We get to go next weekend on Sunday. Our booster club is treating them to Slitterbahn. So we're going to get to go to Slitterbahn all day on Sunday, and then that Monday morning is when they'll get to go compete that entire morning. They'll kind of be in like different rooms. We go to Hendrickson High School. It's a huge 6A school. You can easily get lost there. But that's where we're going to compete next Monday, and I'll recognize their names. We've got, and I guess we want them to all stand up.
Absolutely.
All right, so our first one, saxophone quartet, they can start making their way over here because they're going to be the first group that performs. Christian Guzman couldn't be here today because he's going to another graduation this evening. But we have Marco Mejia, Isaac Trepo, and Zayden Manriquez. We have our trombone quartet. This group is a freshman group, so they'll most likely be doing this every year. Avery de los Santos, Cameron Miguel, and Javen Madrano, all freshmen in that group. We have some soloists, and I don't know if I saw the soloists in here this evening. Miria Atkinson, Vivian Fawn, you'll be able to hear her play, and Ethan Hernandez. To make it to state on solos, they have to fully memorize everything. If they get a Division I, then that's how they get to move on to state. And then our huge percussion ensemble, there's several of them here. Amaricia Iglesias, Mariela Gonzalez, Miguel Mejia, Nicole Parks, Giselle Olvera, Austin Ranford, Madison Cáceres, Kimberly Williams, Naomi Marroquin, Aaron Roy, Giselle Cecils, Ethan Reimer, and Ariella Vidari. And I needed to make sure I wrote it down so I wouldn't skip any of them. But, I mean, they worked really, really hard, and we get to go compete again in front of a judge soon. So our first group is our saxophone quartet. They're playing Pollywog's Lake Talk. Thank you. That just helps them prepare to play for
Yeah,
the
that's
judge,
great.
because I'm sure this is about as nervous here. Our next one will be Vivian, and this is that. Do I relocate them
No, I
or
got
you? Okay.
First off, and board members, we're going to take 4 pictures tonight. Once we're done, all the people of the band will come up. We'll take a picture, and then we'll do one throughout the night. But did we get her? Is she kind of set up?
Yes.
Okay, so
Good check.
we can watch her from multiple places. She's right in the middle of the lobby. So we can watch her from down the hall or either side. So if everybody will just follow me, we'll gather around her. We're going to really make her nervous.
Xylophone.
Can I get? Y'all can go even on the other side, guys. Y'all follow me. Follow me. Let me go on this side. Let me go on this side, and y'all can follow me. So there's a little room. Okay, come on. Okay. I think she's here. Y'all want to come over here, Kara? This side. There you go.
You went, yeah. If y'all want to kind of filter, we can kind of fill in right here. All right, make sure we got full quiet back there in the back. All right, there we go.
a long solo, but
All right, let's go back that way. That was amazing. How long did it take you to memorize it?
since December.
Wendy's.
That was awesome.
That is.
I'm like, golly, Sue.
That is great. Yes. She's very talented. Yes, we should be very, very proud of her. I know. You're like, just wait.
This next one ties to the last one. And that's why I thought it was so cool. I don't know if we've ever brought valedictorians to the board meetings prior to. I know we haven't the last 2 years. So I asked Baker, I was like, public knowledge yet? Because I'd really like the board to get to recognize them. And she said, yes, they know. So I think this is the first time we've publicly stated this. And so I'm going to bring them both up. I've told them both they can talk to y'all, but they don't get to give their graduation speeches. Save it. All right, save it. But first up, I'm going to bring them both up here at the same time because it's nervous to be up here by yourself. But first up is our salutatorian, Brave Barton. She didn't want to talk, but she's going to have to. And then, the person you just saw play, our valedictorian, Vivian Bond. Wow. We're really proud of both of them. What y'all achieved is hard to do. So we're going to start with Ray. Any words? And then we will let Vivian talk.
I'd like to thank Lamisa. This has been a great 4 years, and Lamisa's given me so many opportunities that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So I hope I can give a good speech at graduation. Thank y'all.
Good job, Ray.
So I'm still a little bit shaken up that this happened, but I just wanted to thank the school board for allowing us to have these many opportunities such as band, BPA, Skills USA, and even more. And so I just want to thank y'all for allowing me to have these experiences because without those, I feel like I probably wouldn't be here standing right now talking to y'all. So I just want to say thank you and I'm grateful.
Thank y'all so much. Great job. Don't leave because you're going to get a picture here. Well, no, you can sit down. Just don't leave the building. But again, guys, salutatorian, valedictorian. And this is one of the biggest senior classes we've had. I think there's over 130, so give them another round of applause. All right, Kara, come here. So this is probably one of my favorite success stories that we've had in the time I've been at Lamisa. And I'm going to make all her family. First, before we get away from the band, Molly, say what's up to everybody. Molly's one of my favorite people in the world. Okay. Kara, too, has some of my favorite family members in the world. And that's why I told her I want them all to come. Kai, all of them. All of us. Rebel did make it? Yes. All right. Maddie, you here? Jordan, you here? All right. So I met Kara as a TA. When I got the principal's job at South, I met her as a TA there. I had no envisioning of myself moving up the ladder. I thought I was going there to just be a principal. And I met her. And I don't remember you remember one of our first conversations. It was in the cafeteria at South. And she told me she wanted to be a teacher. At the time she was a TA, and Moses still worked for us back then. And I called Moses and I said, Moses, I know you usually help kids, but I've got a TA. For some reason, I just saw a light in her that I'd like for you to help. And that was a long time ago, guys, and she's had some bumps in the road. She started, she stopped, she started, she stopped, and there was a couple times I don't even think you thought you were going to finish. But guys, she's one of Bauman's success stories. She's in our program that we're running here. She has officially, as of Friday night, passed all her tests. She is next year going to be a fully certified teacher for Lamisa Independent School. I took her with me to Morton. She wouldn't go with me after that, but I love her to death. I love her family. They're some of the best people you could ever be around. So thank y'all for coming. But I told her, you've got to talk too. You know I love you. Let everybody else see what makes you so special.
Thank y'all. like Richie said, I started here a while back, and I come from a whole other town. I'm from Plainview, Texas. I was a Bulldog, and so it's the only district I've ever known my whole life. So coming into Lamesa, I didn't expect, what I've received, and I'm in love with this district. It's a wonderful district. I've always gone hard for it. That man makes me even go harder. So I have been blessed to be a part of this family, and what it is a family. For years, I've jumped schools like nobody's business. I've been to South, I've been to North, I've been to Middle. I've loved every single one, and I'm just really grateful for this journey. I do owe a lot of gratitude towards Richie, Stacy, and Jamie because they have. I started in the special education department, fell in love with it there. Something about the special ed department that Stacy makes it such an amazing experience. So it's been a lot of debate on where I would go after I was finished. And I'm grateful for the journey and the road. My kids have witnessed me fulfill a dream. I was a teenage mother, and so I didn't really have a lot of expectations for myself. My family, we're Native American. They didn't really have a lot of expectations for me too. So Richie was kind of one of the first people to come along and say, "Hey, you can make it happen." And Moses did actually, go help me go through the whole entire process of it, of going into Howard. And I didn't think that a district would be that giving or give me so much. So I really appreciate it.
Let me have. I should make you talk. Let me have her whole family stand up because they've been by her from the jump. So all of y'all stand up. Y'all deserve a round of applause too. And they are some of the best kids you will ever know. This whole room is filled with some of the best kids you will ever know. Okay, we got one more. And she's the most nervous, which it's funny I put her last. I didn't mean to, but I did. So Kendra, come on up. And Landon, come on with her. How many of y'all know Kendra? I don't remember when me and you first met. We've known each other for a while. I know one of the reasons I liked her, and you may not remember this. One of the first times you got in trouble, she's one of the few moms that called me and said, "Richie's swatting." And I was like, "My God." So, no, you don't remember that?
I do remember the spanking she gave me, but I do not remember the rest.
That makes me sound like I done beat you.
But I loved her for the rest of my life. I've ever known her. She's been the best mother I ever had. And I'm glad she's the author of this book, and I love her very much.
I told her to bring her book. She's donating this into the school. I asked her to sign it before she's gone tonight, but I want her to tell her story. Guys, being an author is no joke. I got a lot of friends that have tried this and not been able to pull it off. And I'm just really proud of her, proud of you. You know you're one of my favorites as well. I say that to all of them because y'all all are my favorites. But I think it's really special, Kendra. So tell us about it.
I just want to thank y'all for letting me speak. Y'all are my alma mater. I grew up here. I mean, Mesa High School was some of my best years. But I was also the kid that got picked on. I'm always told that I was never going to amount to anything because of my disability. I am severe dyslexic. I have trouble reading. To this day, I still have trouble spelling. My grammar and my punctuation, let's just say that's out the window. That's not even there. But I wrote this book originally for my son and our pet cat because the bond between them two when they were little bitty was an amazing bond that I had never seen between an animal and a child. And so they had several little adventures. One took down a Christmas tree, but there were several that were just too cute that I just wanted to write down. So finally, with a lot of convincing from other people, I was told I needed to write a children's book. So I wrote The Adventures of Jack the Cat. It is based off of Landon and our pet cat. I did all the illustrations myself. So proud of it. Worked hard. But I think the real reason why I'm going for the series, it's going to be a 12-book series. I have book 1 done. 2, 3, and 4 are ready to go. Currently working on the illustrations for them.
That's great.
But I wanted to show that for little kids, they don't understand a lot of things. They don't understand a lot of things, like listening for one. And there's a lot of other things that the little kids don't understand. So in my books, I want to try to explain it in a way, especially with their pet, that they can understand. So like heartbreak, feeling the loss of somebody. Little kids don't really get told how to manage these situations with ease. Most of the time they're just shoved from one place to another. So I'm hoping with my series of books that it'll open parents and kids to do everything. That no matter how much your disability really sucks, you can overcome it if you really work hard and try your best. And so that's what I want to get. But I guess I wanted to donate this book to the Mesa ISD. Makes my heart feel better, and I'm hoping kids will enjoy it for years. We have 11 more coming, so be prepared. They want to show y'all our pet Jack. This is what he's based off of.
I have a cat. His name's Murphy.
Well, maybe one day Jack will have to get a pal.
Oh, that's so cute.
Mr. Ritchie already knows my
Can you buy the book online or
Yes, you can actually get paper and e-back on Amazon. I forgot to say a few things. And you can get the hardback on Barnes & Nobles. Barnes & Nobles put my book out later than Amazon did. And when they did, I'm in the category of animal and children's books. In 2 weeks after them putting it out, I made it to the top 100 books in the series. I am hoping maybe one day that Barnes & Nobles tell us that through the process of authors, sometimes some books are so great they make little TV shows out of them for kids. And if you really think about it, some of the best TV shows for kids were made from books beginning. So my biggest dream is hoping that one day Disney will take it on and make an adventure series of Jack the Cat.
I want to know who's going to play Landon.
Knowing him, he'll probably do it himself.
She is correct. I might do that.
film it here?
There you go. There you go.
But the Disney might not want to me to do that. But
You gotta get a younger voice.
hey, if I do, I'll let all of y'all know.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I want to brag on this whole room. I mean, from the band kids to the salutatorian to the valedictorian to Kara and her kids to Landon. I mean, guys, Lamisa's got the best. I say it all the time. And man, tonight was great. So what I need is everybody to come up here and get in front of the board. We're going to take us a big picture. So bring the book. You're going to be in the middle, and everybody, all my band kids, everybody come on up here.
Come on.
Fill them in. Fill them in.
I used to think we were friends, but I think it's just a torture.
And after this, parents, y'all can come get pictures. You can take some as they leave, and then y'all don't have to stay for the rest. Y'all are released. Get in here, fill in there. Let's go. Back up. Y'all gotta act like we like each other.
Be a little bit stubborn sometimes.
A little bit. Does Molly want in this thing? All right. Where's that, bro? Come on, Molly. Right here. She's gone.
That's all original. Everybody done?
Parents, y'all want some? Yeah. Jump up here. Yeah. And guys, you can kind of. Oh. Or do you,
I already got one.
okay, there you go.
All right. And then I need a salutatorian and valedictorian.
Thank you guys for being here. Love you.
This is from today.
How much Yep. Or just say that real quick. Representatives? Got it. Perfect. Thank you. Kendra, come get one with the board real quick. Mary Elizabeth, tell her to hurry up. Kendra, Landy, let's get one real quick before we get this thing back going. Frankie, y'all get one of Kendra, Landon, me, and the board with the book in the middle. There you go, Landon. You hold it.
I can't see Rebecca. Do we need to like scoot off to the side?
Yeah, we can go here.
Reach, we can go.
Have you running the last
There you go.
So are you saying we all?
Come on.
Okay.
Jump over, Cindy.
Yeah.
I got a grandson that can that's why I want to know where you are. Every night.
See, and that was one thing I liked about my mom. She always said to me,
1, 2, 3.
"It's a mercy." No, that's fucking free.
Wait.
Landon, tell her she's got one more.
We got one more.
There you go.
His favorite book is it's just like a kid that always in trouble. Gets in trouble by mom.
All right, guys, unless you want to stay for the rest of the meeting, got like 1 minute to get out of here. You're stuck for a while.
Is it David?
David. That's his favorite. David. Yeah, likewise. Thank you, guys. He likes both. This is perfect.
That's great. I'll work this teacher.
This could be Jeff. Thank you, sir.
Oh, Daddy. Oh,
Yes, nice to meet you too.
Bye, Landon. Nice to meet you, sweetie.
we actually, when we got here, we don't
What do you play in the band? Percussion?
we just, it's fresh.
Austin, you're just becoming a regular. He's like at every board meeting. Getting his picture made.
And so he spoke one
One funny story before we get going. I asked Burnett today. I said, Burnett, how many years have you been over here? How many did you say?
31.
I said, how many years have you been over here with a xylophone staring you in the face? Because it's been parked by her desk all day long.
You need to holler at the city at the Chief State Festival. That'd be a good one. Yeah, we're promoting for the festival next year.
Well, if I make it to Disney, trust me, I'll be on the free food.
Yes.
Okay.
I want that written down. I want it written down.
Write it down. P.S. If I make it to Disney. When, not if. When. When you make it to Disney.
Just like I did everybody else's.
Yes.
That's a lot. Yeah, no.
Wish Betty would be here to see this. I don't know. That's pretty bad.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. Before you go, Candy, give me a hug. You too, Landon.
You didn't make my nerves all.
You did great. I knew you would. I knew you would.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Landon is 13 now, and this book is basically, well, the whole series will be based off of when we first caught Jack.
Yeah.
So Landon was 3.5 at the time. He had a traumatic brain injury. That happened.
Yeah.
And so he was
Let it
put
say.
in the hospital.
I'm out.
I'm out.
He had to wear a neck brace for 6 months. In the first 2 weeks, he couldn't even take it off to get a shower. And so within the first 2 weeks, little ones like that, they don't understand. So he was constantly crying, constantly tugging at it. And so my dad, God rest his soul, said, get him something that he wants. Well, Dad, glad you said that, because he wants a kitty. So we looked online, and this lady said that she had a kitten, 6 weeks old. It was actually only 3 weeks old. So we bottle fed him the first month, and then after that, he slept in Landon's room, Landon's side. Landon ended up forgetting about the neck brace. So it was a big thing for him, and that's where they really bonded. But what I really love about it is Jack was there through everything. Through the loss of my dad, which we took it both hard. But that cat wasn't a normal cat. He drank coffee with me every Saturday and Sunday. Forget ice cream. You couldn't have ice cream in the house. Because he would eat it so much that it'd give him a brain freeze. And he'd make a funny face, weird sound. But Jack helped Landon in a lot of ways that I couldn't as a parent, or that I didn't understand. And so he really became a big part of our household.
That's awesome.
Later on in the series, where Jack's going to get a pal, and we'll introduce our Pit Bull Mastiff mix, Jezebel, Jess for short. And then the last character we'll introduce is our bearded dragon, Jagger. So
That's awesome.
we have 11 more books to go.
Let's give her one more hand. Thank you, Kendra. All right, Landon, unless you're going to be here for the next hour and a half, you better jet, my friend. Because we're about to start the rest of this meeting.
I would like to get home and like this long.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Thanks again. Thank you again for coming.
I guess that was
All right, let's roll.
All right. Y'all ready?
Yes, ma'am. I think we're good.
Now we'll conduct the oath.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah, let's do this. That's why you dressed up. I've been trying to figure it out all night. Lisa, you let us down.
I told her the same thing.
I've been sitting here wondering this whole time.
I feel bad.
She's looking at you.
Ernest, we had somebody remember a whole playlist on the xylophone. You can't remember that?
I feel bad. I just got my whole
He's like, can I stand behind you?
So I
I, Kevin Thompson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of office of Board of Trustee
the duties of office of Board of Trustee
of the State of Texas
of the State of Texas
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and of this state.
and of the state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Ernest.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Bennett.
I guess now we'll go into executive session. Now it's 6:42.
With
wrap up? 18 minutes?
Yeah.
Evening.
Yeah.
Evening.
Because I'm gonna go collect that.
All right. Okay, we are coming back to 701. Okay, now we're going to go into consent agenda items, routine operation. Oh, we do that, we go ahead and do, okay, I didn't know if we had to do that at the end. Okay, all right, I guess now we'll go into reorganize the board. I'm going to recommend April moving up to as board president. So,
Second.
do I have, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Now we have the vice president.
I would like to nominate Kevin Telchek for vice president.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Now we'll go for secretary.
Okay, I would like to nominate Ron Mann for secretary.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
That's what I was about to say. Like I literally was about to say that, Ernest.
Who seconded that one?
I don't know if it
Who seconded that one?
Second, I did.
Okay, April.
Like that's literally what hit my mind as soon as they said
Motion carries
that.
7-0. Okay, we're good. Now we can. Man, the seat is low. Can we switch?
Yeah.
That doesn't go
Take her
well.
chair.
Sets me up.
Did you switch the chair again?
No, it's always
She's
fine.
always stuck with
I've
her.
been accused of that for 3 years.
You do it every time.
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, this is joke.
And your wings were protected.
Now we'll go with
Board
the.
action items.
Hey, ate some more.
No.
Okay, routine district operations, consent agenda. Do you have to approve the minutes?
Yeah, we have to have a motion.
No,
to
can a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved. Second.
Motion carried. We got it. Motion is good. That means it went through, guys.
You say all in favor.
There you go.
Any opposed? No.
No,
Okay. Now motion carries.
Good thing we had
I'm not gonna count.
She's winging it.
I'm not gonna count. I'm telling y'all that.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all know. We're gonna have to raise hands, so I'll make sure. Okay. Financial report.
I just don't like the aesthetics of this thing. But it is what it is.
That's aesthetics. Oh. This is talking about aesthetics.
I'm not going to be as long-winded this time as I was my first meeting, mainly because y'all have already heard from me today, and I don't want you to get tired of me too soon. So this is the report that you're used to looking at. So some of this information we've already kind of talked through as we looked at some new reporting and kind of big picture about how that sets our current budget as we start talking about future budgets. So this first page is really just kind of covering the data we've already looked at today. But one thing I'll point to on this report that we didn't have during our workshop is the monthly activity. And it just crowded it too much for what I was trying to put on that other report. So certainly I can do that. We're not trying to hide our expenditures per month. There's ways we can show that in the reports that we do, but just for the sake of that is a difference that's in this report that we don't have on the one that I showed you earlier. But those numbers all match. They're the same expenditures and budget numbers by function that you're used to seeing. And then the next page is just the revenue page. Again, on the new report you saw earlier today, all these things are put into a one page where you can see them over each other. And again, same numbers. Page 3 is a breakout of capital outlay, which is just an object line in your general budget. And so one of the items and that's dictated by amount. So because they're over a certain amount, we'll move them into capital outlay as opposed to regular supply. And so you'll see on that page, Cornet Cybersecurity is a new software that we purchased. We were previously using just the spam protection from Google. It's embedded with Google. We all have it if you have a personal Gmail account. And it's just not very robust, and been a lot of activity, a lot of that maybe foreign actors as well. So Jamie mentioned that we needed something to protect network and help avoid getting hit with cyber activity on our emails and the spams that comes in, and often has phishing and that kind of stuff. So that's that. The other thing you're familiar with is the lighting project, and that's listed on that page as well. Just a reminder, that's something that the Weaver Foundation is
split with us. Remember, we paid half, they paid half, and they've already given us they've been awesome. As soon as we turned our stuff in, they've already given us the money for both.
Is it complete?
So you'll see that check register for that payment on that, but I can tell you, Callie looked that up, and we received, I believe it's just over $90,000 in that. And then if you'll flip on over, then we get into check registry. Not a lot of things to point out to you other than just, man, there's a lot of travel this time of year. And so it's student travel, it's athletics, it's, of course, our CTE programs. Some of you all may have attended the banquet a couple of weeks ago, but we had a lot of kids participating and going to skills contest. And so as you flip through the first several pages, you see a lot of travel. Some of it's fees, some of it's hotel, some of it's meals. But as you everything, parking, at the airport, different things there. Same thing on page 2, see some band activity there as well. Band travel for UIL solo ensemble. It was in February, but credit card stuff there. So you see a lot of Citibank as you flip through the pages there. Not trying to go too fast for you, but not anything that caught my attention that was, of course I see these well ahead of time as we're approving the requisition process.
How many on page 9?
Oh, I'm getting there.
Oh.
Let me point you. Let me point out page 4. That is, and I've already spoke to it. But you see there again, middle of the page, that 10,000. That was that spam software that we purchased. I'd marked that on there. As you go on through again, most of this again is travel. Page 5, there's a podium that was purchased. Presentation podium. It's got all the AV.
We had one good one, but we used 2, and so we needed a second podium at the high school.
So that's there. And then at the bottom of the page, you see a number 6027. Those are electronic door locks. That's not a repair, it's an actual install. We had nurse's office and teacher's lounge and some other doors that were not originally put on the card with the card reader. And so they're effectively open access. And so,
like how many doors? That's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
10?
I didn't pull how many that is, but that is to come in. You have a company that comes in and installs those.
He can get that to you though. Write that down, and we can email.
Yeah, we can get a number to see how many actual readers were installed. Of course, I wasn't here when the initial project was done. I know they're expensive. See the wiring up on that page too. That's just part of our portion on some of the stuff there. And then page 6, about 2/3 way down, there's a 4878 expenditure. Just point that out to you. You recall named the new gyms, and so those nice plaques that you see when buildings are dedicated, the bronze plaques, and so that's what that is.
And on that, I have it for mine later, but I visited with Christy before she left, and because it just took so long, what we've decided, Christy's going to come back for our first football game next year, and I'm going to do the Brownings at the first volleyball game, and then we'll do Bailey's probably like around homecoming. That way they don't mix together.
That's good.
We didn't plan that. We just teamed up. And if you have any questions, you can see utility bill, gas bills, kind of now you've seen some maintenance as you get into page 8. We'll see some more travel here at the end before we get through the registry, but
it starts to calm down after this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's good, in my opinion. If you're traveling this late, that means good things are happening. You know, so.
You're right.
And then on page 9, Ron, I think this was the page you had a question on. I was going to point out to you that asbestos awareness training, there's a related fee with that too.
I'm sorry, I was on that block. I was looking at the page 9.
Oh, okay.
Actual, yeah, well, that's the one I don't. Sorry.
So on page 9, there was just pointing out to you, as you know, that wasn't even an abatement, but abatement's incredibly expensive, and so I believe that was the old special ed building that we had done. So that's an inspection, and then part of their sample taking, all that stuff is also kind of working with our maintenance people as to how to in the future
Do it ourselves.
do that.
So how many employees do that training?
I don't know how many did it. We can ask. That's another. Write that
How
down.
many-
We'll
how
check
many
and
did
see.
it?
Yeah.
We'll check and see how many did it. Ernest. We'll get-
I saw where 2 employees got the bus going.
We've got a lot of buses
Well,
going.
that one that had been down for a while.
He's been.
What
we're-
was the issue with it? And
Yeah,
what was our
I was over there the other day, and he was just showing me all the ones he's got running. I don't know what all the issues were with each one of them. But
Was it just initiative or just?
Was it because of the deaf?
Just put it down.
They had,
There was one with the deaf. that
Frank
had-
was there too.
Yeah, okay, good.
but he has. We've risen some from the dead, though.
No, that'd be
You
good.
know, I'm excited
One of them
about
was
it.
pretty low mileage, right?
Yeah,
That's what
for that 2019.
It was stuff that
We're about to be
needed to
in.
look at, but it wasn't
We're about to be
anything
in
that
really
was
good
like,
shape for
you just want
a
to cut it
while.
out.
Good, good, yeah.
And then page 10, middle of the page, you see that 2840, it might stick out to you for yard signs.
Those are the
That's,
seniors
Just
in front of the
pictures.
school, which is a tradition I think we
Yeah.
got to keep. I love it.
It looks
I
good.
love it.
Everybody drives by.
It's one of the few good things COVID gave us.
Yeah, my parents going to take senior pictures.
And we're using the smart tags, right?
Yes, ma'am. You know, we paid so much for that program up front. I just think it's too early to give up on it.
Yeah.
You know,
because
so
I
we're
mean,
trying
we
to
did
figure out
money for it.
how to make it work.
Page 11, we talked about capital outlay earlier, but you'll see in the middle of the page that lighting project. Again, that's just because it's showing up in your registry as a payment made. And I'll point out right below that, there's a $10,300. And just a reminder, we talked about this my first month, but we're stepping away from that SHARS reimbursement program because you can see the payments we're making to them to manage it, and then I'm getting checks for $30 and $60.
And that's not how it always was. I mean, that's why it used to be beneficial to us, and it's not anymore.
So, and then you've seen a lot of, because those copiers are all, different object lines, so you've seen a lot of.
Don't even go there because we're about to talk about that.
Yeah.
Here in a minute. Yeah, I got that. I got that. I got that. No, that's coming. Go ahead. Yeah.
So, sprinklers in the middle of page 12, 2300. Albert talked to me that before we went forward with it. But you've got an area there in the construction area that they're running hose and sprinklers and doing that. So long term, we have a certified plumber on staff, so we can do that ourselves. And so that's the parts that we need to put all that under irrigation going forward. So meanwhile, we bought hoses. I think last month's report saw some hoses on there, but that's to do that until we can get into the summer, and then we'll do that. And we're not sodding it, but they'll seed it.
Is that middle school?
The middle, so, and I'll talk about the middle. I'm going to talk about the middle school field too. The city is helping us. I'm working with Joe Hines because we got the manpower, but they have bigger equipment. And he told me when we first started, he said, Richie, I just need you to give me a few weeks. So hopefully, he said not next week, but the next week, hopefully they're going to come out, put some of their big machines out there. We're going to level it and start to replant it so it becomes suitable again.
What are y'all going to do with the dirt?
I don't know. Joe asked me the same thing. And so I just want to kind of get the project started and see. Do you need it at the golf course?
Yes.
Okay.
If y'all want to pile it, we'll take it. We'll take it.
If you'll just, and Joe's in on this too, and Albert's in on this too. So if you'll just kind of remind us as we go, we'd be happy to help with that. Yeah.
In a pile over there.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm not gonna lie. I think Joe told me he's got a lot of dirt already piled up somewhere.
We do.
So
we got about
yeah. So that won't be a
Don't
problem.
let it go pile there.
Yeah. For sure. That's close. I mean, it's right down the street. Yeah, it's right down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Perfect. Just remind us as we get going. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but that dirt's better for the golf course.
No, I've
Our
been
dirt?
looking at it.
Yeah.
I've been looking at it.
Yeah, your
Our dirt?
dirt's better.
Yes, well, y'all's is pretty clean.
Because ours is what they took out of Brown Tree, and it's mixing with caliche.
I've been watching it. I didn't know what you were
It's just taking a while because and we've all had so much going on. He just said, Richie, just wait till we get there. But
well, it looks good. I'm glad they redid that. They're going to redo that.
yeah.
And happy to answer any of the questions, but if you look at these last 3 pages, 13, 14, 15, you start hitting some more travel, mainly travel. There's some other things mixed in there. But you got some travel, you got some meals with travel, got some trophies, different things purchased there.
Oh, speaking of trophies,
I didn't have...
not trying to get off the topic, but the 3 rounds of baseball that we won so far, have they got the trophies on those yet?
They hadn't got them yet. They're ordered. They're just not here yet. And it's tricky because everybody thinks we've always had them before. What typically happens is we go pull an old trophy out of the trophy case, and that's what's presented.
Yeah, 'cause they did that at
It's
football.
rarely a new trophy.
No, they did that
I
at
thought the
football
school
too.
Yeah.
handed them, like the school that we played at.
No, it's all paid for at the end, and so it's a
There are times...
secret that not many people knew.
Yeah.
It's never a new
I keep
trophy.
seeing Morton County,
I
and
always
they're
thought
blank.
the superintendents
I
or
thought
the
zoom in
ADs
and
or
those would be
whatever,
blank.
that was their job to make sure that trophy.
You always figure out who's paying for it, but you don't know who's going to win it. And so, like, both teams take one from the trophy case, so whoever wins it, the one, like, if you'll look closely, it's got names on it from years ago.
Well,
Presented.
I zoomed in on Morton County softball and basketball through the season, and they were blank. And I was like, why is there blank? So they must have just one that they use.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure
But we're
out-
working on it. We're working on getting them all.
There are
getting them all
schools
here.
that will do a turnkey, and we host playoff games. There are schools that will offer that as a part of the. Hey, we'll host it. We'll provide the workers. We'll do all the security.
And sometimes do,
we'll provide
sometimes
the trophy. But a lot of schools are like, well, we don't want to pay you $250 for a trophy. We can, or $300, whatever they are now. So take one that's collecting dust and clean.
On trophies, since we're talking about trophies, I hope y'all read my update, and I hope y'all all come to the end of your celebration next week. But I'm trying to keep this on the down low. But he wonders. I invited Josh Stevens to come because he's been mayor for 16 years, guys, and that's a lot of service. Supposedly, he asked his wife, "Does Richie know I'm not mayor anymore? Because why does he want me to come up there?" Well, we got him a trophy. I don't even know what you'd call it.
Yeah, just an award.
But it says 16 years on it. It's from Lamesa ISD, just thanking him for the service he's done. So I'm going to present that to him there.
I thought he was coming tonight. I didn't say it to him.
I thought it'd be cool to do it in front of everyone.
No, that's good.
Yeah. So he doesn't know why he's coming, and if y'all just wouldn't tell him. But I do know he's not mayor. Yeah.
So that's all I have.
Well, that's all you have there.
I will say I do like. I think everybody does. I mean, I speak for myself. Thank you for that.
Before we approve the financial report,
We don't have any purchase order.
well, that's something I was going to talk
yeah.
about because I made a mistake when I met with you Monday. We didn't have this done yet. But go back to the copier conversation. Will you hand those out, Dan?
Oh, it's for the buses that we have to approve.
So if y'all may have it, but I just, okay, perfect.
No, this one? Go ahead.
You have it, but that's just as accessible. It's the same thing as just accessible to the part I'm going to talk about.
Anything over 50.
All right, so, and I apologize that I didn't get this on the agenda, and we could wait, but I also thought I'm going to go ahead and throw it at y'all and see if y'all be willing to go ahead and let us put it in there. What this is, and I tell y'all all the time, a lot of times things have just been happening for so long, and I've got so much going on until you point it out. I'm like, I never thought about that. But if you remember that night, y'all started asking about Tascosa and why we have all those rentals. I'm not going to lie, I never thought about it. It's just what we did. So what we did after that is I tasked Sellers with shopping it. And so y'all were on the right track. And so what we're proposing, and he's already visited with me about all this, I like it, is I believe the third one is the one he would like to go with, but you're right, it's going to save us about $25,000-$30,000 to go a different route. And so if y'all would be willing to go ahead and put that on there, we could go ahead and get the ball rolling.
I like the no overages because
Well, that's why.
I know
South,
in
because South will go
It
over.
was always a concern of okay, what's our numbers? What's our
100%.
And you can't operate that way at elementary level.
No.
I mean,
I think I appreciate Sellers going and finding all these, but like I said, I apologize, Rebecca, I just didn't have the information on Monday. But if y'all would be willing to go ahead and put it on there, it would help us go ahead and go with it.
and this includes ink, toner,
Yes,
everything
sir.
but paper, right?
All this doesn't include is we've got teachers that have their own personal printer in the room. We don't buy their ink. This includes everything that the school does.
Yeah, well, I mean, this for the over 50.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's for the donate. I mean, the purchasing.
Purchase is over 50,000.
You gonna make? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve as Conica Minolta Solution.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you guys very much, and I apologize again.
That's all.
So it'll show one time on the check report.
Should. Yeah.
And that'll be it.
If not, I'm bringing Sellers. But you tell them.
But we'll still break it out.
Burnett does. Yeah, yeah,
Is it me?
Burnett does.
Is it me?
Oh, yeah.
It's time for me.
The administration report? Okay, superintendent report.
And I always don't necessarily go in the order that's listed. I cover everything though. I kind of go with what in my head. Like last time I saved the presentation for the end because I thought it was going to be important. But go ahead and hand that next one out. So this is going to be the only a board approval item tonight. And this is what we've talked about a lot. And you've already got this. You've got it in your board book. But again, this is just the sheet. So it's more accessible. Now that we know the exact number. And again, guys, remember, we went from, and I told y'all last week, if we go to 2 buses, it's going to be a little bit more, but we're getting 2 buses instead of 1. Everything is in the process. I cannot tell you. I can tell you the first thing we'll probably get is the bus. The second thing we'll probably get is going to be the 5 SRO vehicles. And then the third thing we'll probably get will be the second bus. Because remember, 1 bus is there. All I'm doing is trying to approve. Since they wrapped our last one, they've changed machines that do the color. So they had to send me samples, so I make sure the new color matches the bus that we have. But I'm making it look exactly the same. I thought that we put a lot of work into that. I think that bus looks really good. So it's going to have the same. It's just a Mesa on the side. It has the Tornado on the back. It has GT on the front. It looks really good. So that's all in the process. But what we do need to is figure out which option that you guys want to go. Because if y'all remember at the beginning, we told you there'll be multiple options. No different than if you were renting to own yourself at your house. I veer, and I said this in the update last night, I tend to want to go to the third option because I think there's a lot to be told that's going to happen in the legislature. And it's like I said in the update, for me it's easier to go from that
to more than it is to go from more to less. So, but I'm open. It's y'all's decision. That's just, that would be what I would recommend. But I'm open to talk, whatever.
If we did that third option, we could still pay them off.
That's the point. Yes, sir.
As long as we can do that. Then.
That's why I think that it's safe now, but if we end up, everything changes, we can always take care of it.
Interest rates.
It's not going to stay.
Not even next.
And again, this is a year away. We don't do anything for a year. You know, this all kicks up. So, I mean, we've got time. And again, with all the changes we've made, I think we're in a good spot that, like you said, we can always come back and pay more. That's why I think that's the safest bet. So that's my proposal.
I mean, without any kind of penalty.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, sir. There's no penalty. Which to me, harm-free.
We make a motion tonight on that?
I'd like to, yes, sir.
I make a motion we
Well,
approve it.
not until we go down. I mean, we do it down, after, we're gonna do it down.
The
we go to
third
the
one. Yeah.
deliberation.
Well, sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
That one.
The 12 payments.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
but when we go down to the
So don't
action
do-
item,
don't do it yet?
right now it's not an action.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's doing this.
He's just giving us information.
I was practicing. I was
Put your
practicing.
skirt back on.
Yeah. That was for back.
So we have a resolution to sign before you leave tonight. Burnett always has those, so we're good on that. Yeah, I don't know why I was trying to talk through it. I had it up here, and I forgot I had it up here. My fault. Okay, next handout. Well, actually, let me talk before you hand it out, because I hate handing stuff out because people start looking at it and they don't listen. I'm really proud of this. If y'all remember the lady, Texas Strategic Leadership, I've talked about it a lot. We've been doing it for a year now. The lady that came and talked about accountability. So the whole thing in year one is to see where you're at, your demographics, set your goals, and now it's to move towards the goals. We've signed on for year two because it's completely free for us. Part of the deal was that they print I would call it brochure, but it's almost like a mini magazine that advertises Lamesa ISD. And it is awesome. And they gave us, it's all free, they gave us 3 giant boxes of it. I have not showed anybody because I wanted y'all to see it first. So if you don't mind handing it out, and I would like you to take a minute to kind of look through it, and I do have you one. But I think y'all are going to be very proud of this, and we will start to circulate it around the community. I'm going to try to put it in some places that people that don't know a lot about Lamesa ISD will go. So they start learning about Lamesa ISD a little bit.
You can put it in Klondike, Welch, or
Everywhere. Yep, I'm just gonna drop some off.
Hand it off for kindergarten graduation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see those postcards that Snyder ISD sent out?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just think we went through a lot of schools just do stock photos. Frankie did a fantastic job of putting our kids in it. And they said most people don't put pictures of their board, just names. And I said, no, I want our picture in there. So had to show y'all off too. I wish you'd have been dressed like you are today. But that's y'all's to keep, guys. I just wanted y'all to be.
Is that this year's picture?
That was last year. I looked worse this year. They covered me this year. That's y'all's to keep. All this was for me to kind of show that off, and I wanted y'all to see it first because you're going to start seeing it circulating now that y'all have seen it. I think it's really cool. All right, next thing, one more handout. Is this my last handout?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm only going to talk about 2 bills. There's a ton going on in the legislature. I'm only talking about 2, the most important ones. This one, they got heard some more today. So now, this used to be called House Bill 2. That S means now, as the way they said it, and this, don't print this because it sounds awful. The Senate and the House both had an idea for funding. They went and had a baby. And the baby's pretty ugly. That's the best way for me to put this. There's some good things in it, but there's some things we're not overly happy with. I'm not going to go through that whole thing, but that's very detailed. I'm just going to tell you some of the things that we like about it. They take care of teacher raises. For our district, if you've been teaching 3 years or more, it's going to be around a $5,000 permanent raise, paid for by the state. That's minimum. It could be all the way up to $10,000. paid for by the state. So that's a plus. They both recognize special education has been massively underfunded, so both of them increase special education funding. So that helps. A couple of places I feel it falls short is the House raised the basic allotment $300. This raises it $55. So what that means for us, for y'all, is that basic allotment's the money you can spend wherever you need it. All this other money is money that's got to be spent exactly where they tell you it has to be spent. Basic allotment, in my opinion, is where we need it to be raised. The House took care of teacher raises by raising the basic allotment and just telling districts of what we raised it, you have to send a certain percentage on your teachers. The Senate, it's almost like you're the parent that doesn't trust your kid's going to spend the money where you give them $10 for the book fair, and instead of the book fair, they go buy 10 pieces of candy. Yeah. The House trusts us to spend it at the book fair. The Senate doesn't think schools will, so they're trying to tell you every place you have to spend it. They're still fighting. They had people today testifying, and they're still going back and forth. It's coming. We are going to get funding. That's the plus. We got a baby, right? We're proud. We're happy. We just want them to be a little cuter than they are right now. So it's all going to happen in the next 2 weeks, and I encourage you to kind of watch it. And they're being a little bit mysterious about when they talk about it. They didn't put out till late last night that they were going to talk about it today. And in my opinion, you only do that because you don't want people there. Because if you know they're going to talk about it, people are going to come. But this is the best I've ever seen all the organizations working together to communicate with us. I email Senator Sparks every day. Every day. And at first I was a little hurt because he never replied. Now he replies every day. Thank you, Mr. Ritchie. We hear your concerns. I have it on my calendar to email him every day because I think that's the only way. But the reason I tell y'all this is, and they tell us this, they listen to superintendents, they listen to board members, but who they really listen to is when those parents call. They're no different than anybody. They don't like angry moms showing up. And it's easy to find who our representative. All you have to do is type in, who's my representative, and the email immediately comes up. And I'm telling everybody that will listen, if you've got a kid in public schools, email your senator. And make sure they know that we're out here paying attention, because it'll matter. Okay? So look through that. That's very detailed about everything that they currently have in the bill. The other big bill is this. Now, I didn't print this out, but I do have some slides. So the other big bill is House Bill 4. Y'all have heard me talk about accountability a lot. This is crazy to say. And I don't know if Shelley has said anything about this. But we literally might be on the eve of them doing away with the STAR test. And I never thought I would say that. I never thought I'd say that. Now, that doesn't mean they're doing away with testing. But it's going to be, if they do it, it's going to be a lot more fair. So that was what happened the other day. And I just put those on there because it's interesting to read. Today, the Texas House repealed the STAR exam by passing House Bill 4. And guys, it passed unanimously. Right? So now they got to go fight the Senate a little bit. But again, they're going to have a baby. It's just what that baby's going to look like. So this is, and it's kind of small, but this is really all you need to read. So it replaces the STAR with what's called a through-year test, which is what we already do. All right, so that means that you would be tested beginning of year, middle of year, end of year, and they all count. Because now we're truly measuring your growth through that year. Okay? Now that goes all the way up through 8th grade. High school would still have to take some sort of EOC to graduate. So I don't know how much high school will change, but 3 through 8 would completely change. So one of the shockers, and it's shocking because we've told them all the time, one of the biggest reasons the House decided to do this is they had parents come and tell them they're tired of not getting the results to the test until it's already too late for us to do anything about it. And they were shocked. They were like, what are y'all talking about? And all of us superintendents, we've been telling y'all this for years. By the time we get the test, the kids are gone for summer. This gives you results within 24 hours. So you take it beginning of year, you're going to know how you did the next day. Middle of the year, you're going to know how you did the next day. End of the year, you're going to know how you did the next day. It is, y'all heard us talk about MAP. MAP will be one of the ones they consider to be this test. Right? So one of the things that's not up here that I'm excited about is if they do that, they're going to pay for it. Which MAP ain't cheap. And if the state says this is our new STAR test, that means they're going to pay for it, which I like.
I guess I would be concerned, like, okay, so if they're not testing 3 through 8.
No, they are testing 3 through 8.
Okay, they are.
Just they're doing this through test.
Okay,
so this becomes the new accountability.
Okay, so they're still going to be tested because I was like, if they're not.
Now, the one test that they want to be a local option, okay, so y'all know vouchers have passed. So they're, what we are arguing is if y'all are not going to make them take the STAR test, then if y'all are going to give them public money, then we shouldn't have to either. So this is what private schools have done. This is called a norm reference test, and it is based on growth. No other state takes history exams. None. So what they want to do is make that a local option, mandatory to take the science the same way we have, except through the year. Mandatory for ELAR and math, but they want U.S. history and they want the 8th grade social studies test to be a local option. Which then that would be local means y'all would get to decide whether or not y'all want them to take it, but then it would not count against accountability because not everybody would be taking it. Does that make sense?
But okay, hold on. So this test, would it still be administered kind of like the STAR? Like is it?
That's how we
still
do
monitored?
administer our match. We shut campuses down.
So it's still administered
Yes, ma'am.
the same way.
Yeah, and those procedures, Cindy, would ramp up, right? Like right now, most of us do math. But at this point, most of the state of Texas does math.
Yeah.
And we do treat it like STAR, but I'm not going to lie, we know it's not STAR. If it becomes STAR, the state will make sure everybody treats it just like STAR.
What I'm asking is it still? Are we still doing administering like the? You know how we have certain standards, like you can't read it to them, you can't do this. You know, it's administered the same type of way.
That will all change. Now, how it will change, we don't know. I think it changes for the better. Because what these are, they're called adaptive tests. So what these tests do is they pick you up where you're at instead of testing you on things. So in other words, if you put a test in front of me, the through growth exam, if I miss 5 in a row, the questions are going to start coming down to my level. If I get 5 in a row, the questions are going to get harder. And then the goal is that printout then tells that teacher, April struggles on boom, boom, boom. Cindy didn't struggle on these. She struggled on boom, boom, boom. And now that teacher knows what to focus on. Then you get to the middle of the year, see where you're at. End of year, see where you're at.
Of course, there's pros and cons to it, but I like that idea.
There are pros and cons, but this is what I told at the superintendent meeting the other day because everybody wants this. And one of the biggest things, and I'm going to jump to something that I think is huge, that matters. I say it a lot, but I don't know how much it registers. Y'all have heard me say that the goalpost got moved after the test was done multiple times. Right. And I think sometimes people are like, well, Richie's just crying, right? They have purposely gone in and said if the new accountability is not out by July 15th, then the commissioner can't put it out. It immediately reverts to what was before because he has been cheating public schools by putting it out after the fact instead. So again, it's like playing the game before you know the rules to the game. The other good part is this. Right now the commissioner has complete control over our tests. TEA writes our tests. TEA is not our friend. This removes TEA. They have no say in the test. And if the commissioner wants to make changes, he has to ask the legislative sessions. The only people that can make major changes is if he goes to the legislature and they approve it. It can no longer be one guy deciding he wants to make something different. I think that is huge. And that should be how it is. There's another slide here, and I'm not. Here's the why. It's fair for private schools. They monitored the state of Texas. The state of Texas, we went. I don't know if y'all know this. I took TAX or TOS. I don't remember. There was teams. There was all this. The state was slow to the. We were slow to the party for state testing. But since we've come to the party, we now test more than any state. They did the amount of minutes our kids in the state of Texas test, and it was astronomically higher. That means all these other states have more instructional time while we're spending time test. So that's what this does. Even though you're testing 3 times a day, these tests are short and immediate results, so it's almost more like instruction. Immediate or nearly immediate results. It's designed to get growth. It's not designed to catch you, because the STAR is designed for 2 reasons. To show you're not doing your job as a teacher and to make public schools look bad. And there's nobody that can tell me anything different. This is truly going to show how your kids do. The results will be real. It'll really tell me how Melissa knows her math. It's not going to be, it will be true data to how every single kid does. And then more meaningful comparisons. And this is the crazy part, and I'm not going to get off, but they started saying if they did this is how they would calculate accountability. And that's a lot there, and I'm not going to get into it unless this passes. And if it passes, I'll come back and show you all of this. But we would still have A through F, because no public school has ever said we don't want A through F. We want accountability. We just want it to be fair. We want to be able, we want to know what we're trying to achieve, so we got a chance to achieve it. That's all we've been saying. So it's really exciting, but again, they got to fight the Senate. And the commissioner is, man, the Senate and the commissioner are pretty tight. But what we've been told, and it's gone, and I was talking to you about how I've been worried about the funding not happening, because they were talking all about funding while vouchers were going, and then as soon as they got vouchers, we didn't hear nothing about it. But what they have said, openly said, is we owe public schools. And we're going to help them in 2 ways. We're going to help them through funding, and we're going to listen to them accountability-wise and see if we can help them accountability-wise. Y'all gave us vouchers, and we're going to give you that help. So I do have faith that we're going to see something like this. And it will go into effect immediately. This would be next year's kids. All right? The last 2 things I'll say on this, it would only, if he makes changes at the high school level, it only affects the freshmen. In other words, he's not going to make a change. The changes he made affected kids that graduated. We've told you the data lags behind. So even though those kids have been graduated 2 years, those new rules apply to them. So the new rules, if the legislative people agree with them, would go to the freshmen. That way, everybody that's passed that, they would be going by the old rules, which I think is very fair. And I said I had 2 things, but I'm old, and I don't remember what the other thing was. So, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the possibility. Here's the other thing I was going to say. The House and the Senate, go back to House Bill 2, it is $8 billion. The funding bills that they're wanting to give, the House's was 7.9, the Senate's is $8 billion. So there is money coming to us. It's just how that money is going to be allocated and how much our hands are going to get tied as to how we can spend it. Okay, I wanted to go through the last week, guys. It's busy, and I want y'all know this by now. Y'all are invited to everything. Things I would really ask you to try to come to. I really would, if y'all come to the end of your celebration, I'd love for you to be there. That if I could pick one, that Friday, I think senior breakfast is a cool day. You know, and you can come if you want, April. You may have a reason to be there.
Thank you.
LSA graduation, y'all know this, it holds a dear place in my heart, so board members that can come to LSA graduation, that matters. Frankie, how many? I ain't been talking that long. We have 4 retired if you want. So we've got academic banquet there, National Honor Society at 10 o'clock. And then let me talk about this day real quick. So I've altered this day. I bumped senior circle to 2:30. We, meaning me, Gensler, have been working with UMC Children's Hospital. And instead of doing it at night, we're going to senior walk them. And then we're going to load them into buses. And then we're going to take them over to UMC.
We don't need that mostly.
Yeah, don't put that in the paper.
You cannot put that in the paper.
Yeah. It's a surprise for the kid. But the UMC is taking part in it. They're having refreshments for them. They have a room. We've got North and South making billboards for him. It's going to be really cool. And then if we have time, the goal is to do that, hang out with JJ for a while, let him do his senior walk. The staff at UMC is going to take part in it. Then we're going to load them up, and we're going to get them back for senior circle. So,
We can't burn the letters up there?
do what?
We can't burn the letters up there outside the hospital?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do all that.
That would be cool.
Frankie, you totally left me hanging while
That was my fault.
and you don't even know. He's like, what's he talking about? But y'all have had this all along. So, but you know, we're at the crunch time, and there's stuff every day. So be there. Last couple things. Y'all have always helped, and again, if you don't, it's fine. But we had talked about moving the June board meeting up. I had looked at Monday or Tuesday, but I had board members tell me they can't. I know we want to stay away from Wednesdays, but just look at that day and see if it is a day we could do. And again, guys, if we got to go Thursday, I'm game.
What day
Let's
is
go
it again?
Thursday.
Yeah, I can't.
Wednesday, June 18th.
I can tell you that right now.
Or, you know, but again, guys, Thursday, if we got to do Thursday, let's do Thursday.
What is it? June?
I can do
18th.
Tuesday, I can do Friday, Monday.
Why?
Tuesday the...
I
Thursday the 19th?
Why, Ron?
If we need to go Thursday, I can do Thursday.
I don't know. I mean,
I know I'm going that Thursday,
Cindy, but
I'm just one person.
If we could do it before Thursday, it would help me. But if we got to do it Thursday, then I'm good. Y'all just tell me.
Can you do
when
Monday or
I can do
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
What's that, Tuesday?
You can't do Monday or Tuesday?
Can you do Tuesday?
Yes, I had a couple people say they might not be able to. Tuesday's perfect.
Can y'all do Tuesday? Let's do Tuesday. We'll do Tuesday.
All right, Ron, you don't have golf to excuse me of
June?
Tuesday.
I'm
just kidding, Ron.
Okay, what about Monday?
Basketball games on Tuesday.
Okay, there's basketball games on Tuesday. What about Monday?
What about Monday?
So we do Monday?
Monday the 16th.
I will have to organize it.
Monday the 16th,
Monday the 16th.
going once,
Going
twice.
twice. Monday the 16th.
You can do Monday the
Yes,
16th?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Okay. Ron, you're good with the 16th on Monday for June? Because the Tuesday's basketball night.
For June?
He's a
Basketball.
Monday says the trouble.
Oh,
So
So
Monday,
December school.
so are you good with Monday?
I mean,
Okay, let's do Monday.
Thank you very much for doing that. The boys will be very happy.
yeah.
Y'all seen these calendars I've been putting out, guys, and we don't have to have all these budget workshops, but I do want to put them out there. And so my question is, and I've kind of tried to time, there's days I know I can't do it. So if it's blank for a reason for the non-board meetings. But if we had our next board, what date did you just say, April? Monday what?
June the 16th.
So there will be a budget workshop tied onto all board meetings for the rest of the way. So y'all just know that. But if y'all wanted to do some extras, I don't want to do both, but would y'all like to do, and I think we got to make sure we come in, and we got to know, all right, we're not getting the world solved tonight, but come for an hour, leave. Come for an hour the next time, and just so we kind of foundationally move along. I think it would help.
I don't think we need one in May.
Okay, so let's go here.
Yeah.
Which day would be better? Tuesday, June 10th? I can't talk. Or Thursday, June 12th?
I can't do Tuesdays. Whatever you
Thursday, June 12th, would that work? And then we come back Monday and have another one. That's good, because it'll still be fresh in our head.
Yeah, that's good. That was dead.
Okay. I just think it's going to help more than last year. I felt rushed, and this will keep us from feeling rushed.
5 points.
All right, so
We got 5 points for killing a fly.
It was bothering me.
we're losing our focus. And Frankie was
Yeah, June 12th, you're good.
So June 12th, Burnett, will be our next budget workshop. The next Monday will be a budget workshop and board meeting. Perfect. And guys, that's all I had. Thank you all very much. It's been a really good night. I thought that was one of the best student and staff celebrations we had.
So moving on to board action items?
Yes.
Okay, board action items. Deliberation and possible action to approve the government capital resolution.
I make a motion to approve as presented.
Do we do the third option? Do we say that or not?
You're fine. As long as I know.
All in favor?
We're good.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Deliberation and possible action to approve the specific employee contract.
No.
No?
Sorry.
Okay.
That'll be the next one.
We'll
Yes.
table that.
Sorry, I should have told you that beforehand.
After when you table, do you need to?
No.
Okay.
We don't need it. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it.
Um,
Well, then that's it.
and then let's go home.
And guys, I won't be here tomorrow. My sons have awards assembly, so I'm going to go.